Hello there, guys. Pearl Jr. here. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a great time. Olympics are here. Yay! Besides being a fan of the Jackson 5, especially Michael Jackson as a child, my second most favorite thing was the Olympics with Nadia Comaneci and Olga Korbut. That was way back in the 70s, but they were great. And, just all the wonderful stars. I remember the story of Wilma Rudolph. Oh my God, she had polio as a kid, which Catherine had that as a child too. And she wore braces like in Forrest Gump. And that whole character, I believe, is based on Wilma Rudolph, who grew up to be a fabulous athlete and I think an Olympic gold medalist. Let me see, Wilma Rudolph, LP, Wilma Rudolph, Olympic athlete. Wilma Rudolph, gold medal. Let's see. She was fabulous, but she was born, she contracted polio. Okay, Wilma Rudolph, got her, okay? You guys gotta check her out. I believe the character Forrest Gump was based on her. Okay, there she is right there. She won 3 gold medals in the 1960s in the as a sprinter. And I hope you guys be patient, okay? It's buffering. It keeps saying slow connection. I don't know, but just, bear with me. I am here because Wilma Rudolph. So anyway, the Olympics are my most favorite thing. I think there's a story of Wilma Rudolph and you can watch it and it is fabulous, okay? But anyway, the Olympics are my favorite thing. So you guys make sure, hi Tori, that you watch the Olympics, okay? And Beyonce did this great promotion, brought me to tears about how much effort goes into being an Olympian and an Olympian champion, an Olympic medalist, an Olympia's gold medalist, which means you're the best in the whole wide world. I like to give some well wishes before I move on to Henry Louise. She is a great lover of my shea butter, and she hadn't been feeling well, but she's getting better, and I know she'll be back to 100% soon. So hi Henry Louise, you're there. Hey girl. All right, so get your Stays All Day Shea. Let's do work and play because everybody has skin, right? So let me update you on the Skin Butter store. The Skin Butter store, I got it. I signed the lease. I got to wait to see how long it's going to take to get the outdoor sign done. I have a painter that's coming in on Monday to give me a bid on how much to paint. And so hopefully I'll be up and running and I'll give you guys the address. It's a magical Michael Magic. It's Michael Magic address. So I'll give you that when I am about to have my grand opening. All right. So thank everyone for buying the Stays All Day Shea. It is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And even with my farmers markets, I get so much repeat business. So go to staysalldayshay.com and order yourself some shea butter. All right. So let's get down to Papa Joe, okay? Papa Joe was born yesterday. Let's see how many years ago. Oh my God, 1928. So if it's 2028, which is 3 years from now, he'd be what, 97? 3 years? No, 4 years from now. So he would be 96. Because it says he was born July 26, 1928, and it's 24 minus 4 years, right? So from 100, so he would be 96, but he died in 2018, and it was one of the biggest honors of my life to attend his memorial with the entire family there, except for Paris and Jermaine. But everybody else was there. His grandchildren, all his kids were there. And here I am. I think I saved a picture of me there. Okay, and I have footage. You guys can look through it. There was footage there. Okay, so here I am. There I am at Papa Joe's memorial. Okay, so yesterday was his birthday, and I was busy yesterday, so I couldn't go on live. But I wanted to talk about something that I had promised that I would go live about. I would play in the last in my last video, and I just didn't have it saved, but I do now. Okay, so we're going to listen to it. It's about 4 minutes, and it's Michael talking about his abusive relationship with his father Joe, or how Joe abused them. Okay, so listen, you guys.
I would take he make you strip nude first. He would oil you down. Your whole ritual, he would oil you down. So when the flip of the ironing cord hit you, it just, and it was just like me dying. And you just flip all over your face, your back, everywhere.
Okay, we're going to stop there. Okay, Michael said Joe would whip him in his face and in his back. Unfortunately, we don't have any footage of any of them ever bruised up or beat up. And a lot of times when people have been like that, especially when you're in front of the camera so much, and Joe didn't miss a gig. He had those kids performing everywhere. We've never seen them with a black eye or with marks on them or anything like that. Okay, so let me keep going.
And I always hear my mother back, "No, Joe, you're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him, no." I would just give up. There was nothing I could do, And I hated him for it. Hated him. And he'd look in the audience, he'd make a face like this. He'd go, "Oh, I can't mess up. He's gonna kill us." It would just scare the bejesus out of you. And he'd be like, everybody clapping, he'd be like looking at you hard, like, "Don't you mess up." And I'm like, "Oh God, I'm in trouble after the show." We hear his car coming down the drive. We always drove this big Mercedes. And he drives real slow. Show us home, quick. Boom, doors slam, everybody runs to their room. Like there's sometimes I'd be in bed at night sleeping. It's 12 at night. The door's locked. So I'm giving you 5 seconds. Open, I'm going to kick it down. And he starts kicking it. Boom, kick it, like breaking the door. And why did you sign that contract today? I go, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, sign it. If you don't sign it, you're in trouble." So you son, I had to. He was very physical. He'd throw you and hit you hard as he can. And I never forget this. Janet and myself, I would say, "Janet, shut your eyes." She'd go, "Okay, they're shut." I said, "Picture Joseph in a coffin. He's dead. Did you feel sorry?" She would go, "No." That's what we would do to each other as kids. She'd go, "Nope." Just like that. That's how hateful we were. I go, "He's in the coffin. He's dead. Would you feel sad?" You come, she goes, "Nope." Just like that. That's how angry we were with him. And I love him today, but he was hard. I never felt love from him. And he would never hold me or touch me. So how are you doing today? I'm scared of my father to this day. My father walked in the room, and God knows I'm telling you the truth, I've fainted in his presence many times. I'll say once, to be honest. I've fainted once. I've thrown up in his presence because just when he comes in the room, just aura comes and my stomach starts hurting. I know, like, I'm in trouble.
I know you're denying the stories about violence, but as you look at it, were there any mistakes you made?
I didn't make no mistakes, Larry, because Michael was raised properly. He didn't run the streets like most of those other kids that was in his neighborhood. Listen now, you got to understand me. Don't cut me off here, Larry. Michael had claims that he had a dull life. Michael never he had his own brothers and sisters to play with. And that was the other, but most of those kids that was Michael's age during that time, they're not living now. So
when he didn't he once say that you were physically, emotionally abusive to him?
I've never been abusive to him. Never have.
But did he say that? Did he ever say that, to your knowledge?
Well, I don't know whether he said that or not, but I hear the media keep hollering about abuse him. I never abused my son.
Larry, can I say something, Joe? Larry, do you
Wait, Ro, let me handle this right here. Let me handle this. The media keep hollering about saying that I beat my son. That's not true. You know where this beating started? The beating started in the slavery days. They used to beat the slaves, and then they used to torture them. That's where this beating started, at these slave masters. And that's where that come from. But, hey, there's a lot of people in America, Larry. A lot of people in America spank the kids, you know. If they say they don't, they're lying. They lying. And Michael was never beaten by me. Never beat at all.
You're on record.
Hey,
Okay.
Want to know how?
So, anyway, so Michael saying all this terrible stuff happened, and I believe Joe did whoop his kids. Okay, I definitely believe that, because most black families in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, 90s, even today, spank their children. Okay, whoop their children as a form of discipline. And Joe has a point. If we show too much love for our children in front of massa, you know, they would probably separate us from our children. And you don't want massa to beat your kids, so you took care of the discipline. And it was a brutal type of thing that trickled down from slavery. And we got beat. Most people have seen Roots. Those things are true, you know, and there was no, they could kill us, they could cut off our arms, they could rape us and do all these terrible things, and there was absolutely nothing we can do about it. It was not against the law. Okay, so we learned how to discipline our children from who taught discipline, which was our slave masters. Now, I believe that Michael embellished. I do, as far as whip you on the face and stuff, because Joe, why would you whip your children on the face when they got to go perform? And it takes a long time for scars to go away and bruises to go away. Okay, I think Michael embellished it so Joe would stop. That's what I believe. Okay, and it was so it seems like it was abusive that when Michael said it, that a police investigation should have happened or something, because that was an extreme. To strip you down naked, you know, whip you all over yourself, you know, and then, you know, the part about Joe in a coffin, they wouldn't care. I'm sure Michael probably, when that happened, regretted saying those things, laughing and giggling about it. I think that he probably did regret that. Now, Papa Joe and I, okay, I went to Papa Joe, speaking of his birthday. I attended Papa Joe's birthday. Let me show you a picture of me at Papa Joe's birthday in 2007, because I had met them when I was a credentialed media in the 2005 trial, right? So by 2007, Joe had already been talking to me about, here it is. Okay, about my documentary behind the scenes at the Michael Jackson trial, right? And if you want to see a better picture, go to my website, michaeljacksoninsider.com, and see a whole bunch of pictures with me and Jacksons and Jackson affiliates. Well, anyway, so it was an honor to go to his birthday party in 2007 in Las Vegas, and it was so hot that the camera stopped working. Okay, and then we looked at the instructions, and the instructions said cameras might not work under extreme heat. It was like 110 degrees out there, okay, in Vegas, but it was, and then here's another picture I took at the party with some other people, some other friends of mine, with Papa Joe at the after party, okay, after the birthday party there was, and that's me with the gold hair over there, right there, that's me, and that's Papa Joe. And it was an honor to go to his birthday party that year. And now I'm wondering, you know, was Michael there in disguise, perhaps? Because Joe had contacted me because he wanted to buy my documentary behind the scenes of the Michael Jackson trial. And you guys know, you believers have been following me for years, that Joe and I talked about it. We kind of negotiated. And then when I sent him a copy, I had to send another one, and I said, well, what happened to the original copy? And he said, well, a family member took it, which was Michael, of course. Michael had the original copy, so Joe had 2 copies of it. And I signed the deal 7 weeks before the death announcement in the same exact building as the Michael Jackson Company. Okay, so we know Michael was preparing for my and it eventually got distributed by Warner Brothers to 50 million homes, right? And and so Michael and Joe and I was a part of the pre-planning for the death hoax because they needed something out there that proved and showed evidence and reminded people of Michael's acquittal at the 2005 trial that he was not a child molester. And so I think, and then they used a proxy, they used a decoy to sign that deal. And there was somebody else in the room, but I don't know why. I don't remember that person. But we were in a conference room and we signed that deal right in the same building as the Michael Jackson Company. And they were at the conference room, and that other guy did not even have an office there. So the only ways you got to use the conference room is if you had an office in that building in Century City, right? And the address, I didn't find out that the address was the same building as the Michael Jackson Company until I saw the contract of Michael's This Is It contract, and that address had the same address as my distributor. So Michael was completely behind all that negotiating, having all that happen, and I thank Michael and Papa Joe for making that happen. So I was a part of the planning for the death hoax, you know, and it really, really catapulted a lot of people to not believing that Michael was a pedophile, and I'm very, very proud of that until Leaving Neverland. Oh my God, that monstrosity of a hit piece is just outrageously inaccurate. With Wade and James, we found over 60 lies that they've told, and they're on my YouTube page somewhere. Okay, all right. So that's that. Now, this is the last time that I saw Papa Joe in person. Okay, it was at the screening. There it is. There's me, and there's Papa Joe with Nick Cannon, and there's me there, okay? It was at the Michael Jackson screen event where they showed Thriller 3D there. They showed Thriller 3D there. And, yeah, oh my God, that was so many years ago. I think it was 2018, because I think it was like late 2017. Matter of fact, it was fall of 2017. And Papa Joe had died in the summer of June 28th, 2018. So that was the last time that I saw Papa Joe, was at this event, which was less than a year before his passing. And we did chit chat some, and we talked again in the at the after party, where I had VIP passes to the after party, which was really nice, you know, because a lot of people were like, oh my God, how did, you know, you're the death hoax person, how are you? And I was sitting with the Jacksons too, right? I was sitting in the row with Papa Joe and Jackie and Angel and her husband, until Nick Cannon was the host of that event. So he was the MC that was telling us what we were going to see and introducing it and everything. And it was a packed house. And I had this feeling that they needed the seat for Nick. Where's Nick going to sit, right? So I had scoped it out, and right next to Carl O'Reilly was an empty seat. So when Nick Cannon had to take my seat, right, in the row with the Jacksons, I knew where to go. So I knew that seat was there. Now, let's tell a backstory. I know I've told that story before, but I'm getting ready to add something that proves that Peter Bobby is really Michael Jackson. Bobby Anderson is the decoy, the face of Michael Jackson online. Okay? Peter Medani is the name, the alias name for both Bobby Anderson and Michael Joe Jackson. Okay? So you never know when you're dealing with Peter, are you dealing with Bobby or are you dealing with Michael? You don't know because it's behind the scenes. So anyway, so at that time, I was remodeling my house. I was not remodeling, renovating my house to where, and I was preparing it for sale because I didn't want to be in Palmdale anymore because my mother had died in 2015. And the reason why I chose to buy that house there was because I was less than a mile from my mom in her older years. And I wanted to be close by so that I could be there if she needed me for whatever reason. But she had died a few years earlier, and there was just no reason to be way, way out there when I really grew up in the San Fernando Valley, right? an hour south is where I grew up, and that's where I feel more comfortable, and that's where I live now, and that's where my store is going to be, right in the San Fernando Valley. Okay, so anyway, so at that time I was remodeling my house, and Peter was on the phone with me a lot while I was showing him what I was doing. We were talking about what I was doing. I was telling him what paints I chose, what flooring I chose. And so I was getting a new floor. I had bought this tile, and the tile did not really work out well. And so I was getting a laminate hardwood floor put in. And he's called and he said, "Oh, you can't make it to the Scream event, can you?" And it was so sad. He said, "You're too busy, huh? You can't make it." And I was thinking, oh, and had the guy with the flooring was there that day. And I just felt like, oh my God, he really wants me to go. He really wants me to go. So what I did was I left the guys there and I trusted them to lock the house up. Okay, I just said, just lock the house up when you leave. Okay, and I left the guys there to finish the floor. I just trusted that they would do that because I had to drive an hour and some, like an hour and a half, to Hollywood. And that's where the Scream event was. It was at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. And I had to drive there. Now, you got to remember, I went there on faith. I went there on faith that Michael would take care of me as far as a ticket was concerned. I went there on faith. I tried to apply for a ticket, and I didn't get a ticket through the regular channels, which is, you know, through a PR agency and all that. I didn't get a ticket that way. So, but when he really sounded like he really wanted me to go, I said, okay, I'm going to go there on faith and hope that it just works out, that he has my back and he has a ticket for me, right? So I went, and I didn't know what to do. I was talking to Angel, Joe Jackson's manager, and I was like, God, am I going to get in? And then Shauna Mingatal, she had will call tickets, so she showed up, and her name was on a list, and she got her tickets, and here I am. Now, I'm inside the place where the borders are. You know how they kind of rope it off? So I'm inside the place where you rope it off, but I did not have a ticket to get inside. And I just felt like, Michael, you had me come here. I'm here because you wanted me here. You got to find a way to get me a ticket. You just got to have my back. Angel shows up with everybody's ticket, including Ola Ray's ticket, including a ticket for Ola Ray. And including a ticket for Ola Ray, right? And Angel had me hold all the tickets. She's like, here, you hold these. And I guess she was trying to say, I got a ticket for you, girl. Don't worry. Because I'm like, why are you letting me hold the tickets, right? Because she showed up, right? And she was so nice and so wonderful. And we waited for Ola Ray to show up. Ola Ray played Michael's love interest in the video Thriller. And she was there and she was fabulous. Her and I hung out. We had a great time, you know. And so I was holding everybody's ticket and everything. And then it was time to go in, right? So I don't know how many people there are or how many tickets. I don't know how to count, you know, because Angel was there with her husband and Ola. And I think she had a couple people with her and Papa Joe and me. And so anyway, so when we were all escorted in after we did the red carpet, right? And everybody had a ticket, right? We're going in. And the lady was counting the tickets, right? And she was counting how many of us and how many tickets. And then at one point, I thought she was a ticket short. And then she went like this. And there was a ticket behind it. I was like, oh my God. And I got to go in. So Michael had my back with having a ticket for me that day. And I got to go in. And that's why there was one extra empty seat, which happened to be next to Carl O'Reilly. And so Nick Cannon came and took my seat. And I went and sat right next to Carl O'Reilly. And we watched the Thriller 3D. It was fabulous. We also saw some other unreleased footage from behind the scenes of the making of Thriller, and it was it was just so fantastic. And I saw Joe there, and I saw Joe at the after party, and I talked to him at the after party and everything. Now, a lot of people wonder why I support Joe so much. And because without Joe, and just like Michael had said, in during the trial, in the 2005 trial, there was footage of Michael saying, "My father is a genius, and you take one whooping away, and I would not be who I am, and I like being the Michael Jackson." And when I heard that, and Joe was sitting directly in front of me next to his wife, Catherine, I saw Joe like underneath clap, like yay, like he said it, and he was so happy that that was played and that Michael had said that, you know. And so at that moment, I had forgiven Joe Jackson because Michael forgave Joe Jackson. You see? So how am I going to hold a grudge against Papa Joe when the person who was the victim of whatever abuses or whatever whoopings or whatever discipline there was forgave? And when Michael forgave, I forgave. And then I started looking at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture of there is no other family in the world who has more accolades of success and longevity of success as the Jacksons. There is no other large family in the whole wide world, you know, as far as trophies, winning trophies. And I'm talking about the Grammys, the Grammys and the American Music Awards and the BET Awards and all the other awards, all the gold records, all the platinum records, all the achievements that the Jackson 5 had, the Jacksons, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, and LaToya and her best-selling book and her two of her best-selling books and her Psychic Network and her #1 highest-selling Playboy cover, Centerfold. And I think about all the successes of the Jacksons, and I think without Papa Joe, we wouldn't have all that. So every time we listen to a Michael record and we feel love for the Jacksons or love or excitement for a song, we have to thank Papa Joe for it. Not only for giving life and picking Catherine, who had these wonderful genes, you know, despite polio, because if Catherine didn't get polio and walk with a limp, who knows what her life would have been like. And I hope one day we get to hear samples of what Catherine's beautiful singing voice was like. And even Joe and Catherine singing together, I hope there's recordings somewhere of that. You know, and I thank Joe also for taking them to their gigs and rehearsing with them and making them the best and teaching them, you're not #2, you're #1, and telling them, no, you're not taking the color TV for second place because you boys are better than that. You are better than that. You are #1 and you're going to be #1 in the world. And it's lessons like that, hard lessons, that made us, the world, the benefactors. And then I think about the charities. Oh my God. I think about the charities and all the people that their money has, Michael's money and the Jacksons' money and Janet's charitable efforts. And I think about how Michael visited hospitals and visited children and made everyone so happy. I think about all those things. And once I think about all that greatness, then the whoopings just kind of are a part of it, right? But it's not it at the top. It's it at the bottom. Because as far as when have the boys went to jail? I think Tito once spent a night in jail. So did Michael. Tito spent the night in jail for, I think they said he bought stolen goods that he didn't know about. And I think Michael went to jail for something, the Rolls Royce or something, and the cop thought that he shouldn't have it, or some reason why Michael went to jail. I don't think it was speeding or reckless driving, but it had something to do with a car. And Michael got to see the inside of a jail. And then Michael, was arrested for child molestation. But it's and Debbie Rowe has admitted that she was a part of addicting Michael Jackson to drugs. Michael never wanted to be a drug addict. Michael wanted to be a role model for people to follow. He wanted to be a positive contribution to the world. He wanted to give his give thanks for his God-given talent and give back, because Catherine and Joe taught them how to do that. His work with, breaking down racial walls and racial ceilings, and I just think about all that. I know we had the Kennedys, but they had so many tragedies in their life. Oh my God. We had the Osmonds, who don't have as many accolades as Michael. We also have the Kardashians, who, I don't know, they have TV shows, but I don't know if they, really had a talent where they rehearsed and they, learned a skill, besides maybe publicity or promotion or just being themselves. And I think about how the Jacksons are way above everyone in their success. And it was Joe who drove them to rehearsals. And was he perfect? No. Are you perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. And who is to define perfection? I think that in order for Michael's dreams to come true, and Michael said he's so lucky all his dreams came true, it was because of the teachings and the lessons and the discipline and the whoopings that Joe Jackson gave him. And if it was that abusive, most kids who are really, really abused, they turn out to be street drug addicts. They turn out to be abusers themselves, which we have no evidence that Michael ever abused Paris Prince Blanket or Brandon. Okay, Brandon, I believe, is Michael's biological child. And I often wonder about Dante, too. And I've told why about Dante, but Brandon, every single solitary thing matches with Brandon for him to be Michael Jackson's biological child. And we have Michael telling about it in Billie Jean, that he denied it, not my son, not my son, not my son. Oop, the eyes just like mine, oh no. The lie becomes the truth, oh no, So he talks about me, I, mine. So he's telling his autobiographical story of something that pretty much was a traumatic experience for him, because when Mickey became pregnant, Michael, it was between Off the Wall and Thriller. And Michael had everything that he worked for set up for Thriller, and that he was going to be the biggest star in the world and all of his dreams are going to come true. But he was mad at his brothers for getting married at 18 and getting rid of that bachelor image. And that bachelor image would have been destroyed if they would have known that Michael was a father and if Michael had to marry Mickey Howard. And so they came up with a deal. And I fill in the blanks, but it's all based on facts. And I hope to God that I get to do A Prisoner of Fame or The Price of Fame. And the first episode is fabulous. I mean, oh my God, that's the episode I've concentrated the most on. And I hope that one day I'm able to make that mini-series. It's going to have to be about 11 episodes, even though there's about 7. But I'm going to get into Paris Prince and Blanket, and I'm going to get into Debbie Rowe. Because before I was kind of not going to get into it. But now I think I am, once she had admitted what she did. And how she was a part, and she said that she sucks as a human being, and she does. And I had told people for years that Debbie Rowe, when she was testifying at the Katherine Jackson versus AEG live trial, how she admitted to being a part of Dr. Klein and Dr. Hoffman purposely addicting Michael Jackson to drugs. And she was the drug runner. She was the one that went and got the drugs, and she was the one that gave them to Michael Jackson, knowing that they were addicting Michael Jackson to very, very powerful drugs after he had the reconstructive surgery from the burn when he was recording the Pepsi commercial. Okay? I am going to get into it. So I have to write those episodes But I want a deal first, you know, because I have all the synopsis, and I think I have like 300 pages written already. But I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that because I think the people want to know. And it'll be a 20-year research project. And it'll be about the death hoax, of course, and a lot of flashbacks. And hopefully one day I'll get to do that. But anyway, guys, this is Pearl Jr. And I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to leave you with this, okay? I am going to leave you with this. Let's go here. Let's go here because I got a farmer's market to go to today. Let's see my profile, and I'm gonna leave you with this video.
Elbow Grease Productions in association with MichaelJacksonInsider.com presents.
Oh no, Joe Jackson didn't. Who remembers my intros? I don't do those anymore, but remember those intros when Cecil was editing them for me? Okay, this is for believers and non-believers. Okay, and here's Joe Jackson.
That's still the thing that Micah's he's still alive. It just seems that way.
Here. Oh. Yeah, Joe Jackson said, I believe that Michael's still alive. It just seems that way. I still believe that Michael's still alive. Okay. I have that in the Alive docu-series when Joe says that on the anniversary, the first year anniversary of the Michael Jackson death announcement. Joe says that. Okay, and then let me see what else happens here.
Do it.
Okay,
Fake
there you go. Okay. So Joe Jackson says he believes that Michael Jackson is still alive. Now, okay, because Joe knew. Joe knew he's part of it. Okay, so then he makes sure after I release this video to the day a few years later, okay, this is what Joe Jackson tweets. Okay, is Michael Jackson still alive? It's a mystery. Michael was so creative, anything is possible. I don't expect to see him until I die. You never know. Okay, Joe says it again. And it happened to be on the anniversary. He tweeted that on March 15th, 2015, right? So when I released the video of Joe Jackson saying that was also on March 15th, right? Let's go to my YouTube channel to let you know how in tune I was and this stuff was happening. There's so much of this in the Alive docu-series, guys, and I still plan on, even though I am doing this the skin butter store, and I'm trying to get it together to release it, and it's a magical number. Michael's magic shows up again. It shows up again. So I've already signed the lease, and I'm going to have the skin butter store. I just have to get someone to do the sign for the outside. So as soon as I know when that sign will be out, I'm having a meeting with a painter on Monday, and we're going to paint the inside and do a few more things. But anyway, it's a magical number. Okay, my address is a magical number. And let's see, March 15th. Let's see, let me go back to March 15th. Oh my God. Here's my videos. Now let me sort them from oldest to newest. Let's see, 2013 years ago. Let's see, when did I do that? It was, I think, after the Murray trial. After I covered the Murray trial. Papa Joe. Let me see where it was. Somebody said you need to be more prepared, Pearl. Okay. Oh, here. This is what I promised to show you guys. I promised to show you this in the last video too. Okay. And I couldn't find it, and here it is. Okay. I try to get to it, guys. You guys know I got a lot that I'm doing. Okay, so kind of give me a little bit of a break. I'm, opening a store. I'm doing farmers markets. I'm trying to keep up with my Michaeling. Okay, here it is. Okay, and then I'm gonna find that other video to show you guys. Okay, here it is. Here it is right here. Okay. When I did the video about Jacko, see, the National Examiner giveaway, the King of Pop lives on. I didn't make this. I did not do this. Jacko may be gone, but he'll live forever in this great documentary, Michael Jackson, The Trial and Triumph of the King of Pop. I never did anything. I never did this ad. I never paid for this ad. Okay? Never. All right? Never paid for that ad. And it says the King of Pop lives on. And it says Jacko may be gone. Maybe gone? I thought he was dead. This was in August of 2009. This is just a few months after the here it is. This is just a few months after
Joe Jackson didn't.
Oh no, this is the same video. No, that's not it. That's okay. So it's before that. So let me keep going. Let me go to the oldest video. Okay, and then let me see if I can find it. It was after that. Okay, and so Michael would plan all kinds of things that match dates to let me know that he was behind all these wonderful things that were happening and going on. Yeah, Michael, thank you for having my back, because I went on faith that you would have my back and have a ticket for me. Okay, and so I thank you so much. And I got the last ticket too. Okay, so the 15th, where is that? I'm gonna look for it. And if I can't find it quick, I'm just gonna have to carry that over to the next video. Okay, carry that over to the next video. Let's see if I can find it. Papa Joe and March 15th. And he matches up the dates and everything. He doesn't do much lately. I haven't seen much lately. I think the last big thing he did was he had Dante come down to the farmers market. That's what I think the last big thing he did. And you guys know Nick Cannon came down to the farmers market too. Okay, on January 1st. Okay, all right. So that was good. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to look just real quick. Let's see. Papa Joe. Let me see when that was. Yeah. So even though Shauna had a ticket in will call, my ticket was directly given to Angel for me. Thank you, Michael. That was so sweet. That was just so sweet. He don't do sweet stuff like that for me no more. Okay. So let's see. I don't know where it is. Okay, I'll remember to find it next time, guys, okay? And at least it's something for you guys to look forward to. See you next time. All right, guys. I guess I got to go now. And we have a farmer's market. We had a night market to go to tonight. And I will see you next time. I love you guys. Don't forget to go to Stays All Day Shea. StaysAllDayShea.com and order some shea butter. Some of you guys should be out by now. Okay, it is so luscious. Oh my God, it smells so good. And remember Thrillerween? I'll bring that back. Thrillerween. Yeah, that kind of matches where the last time I saw Joe Jackson, Papa Joe Jackson, was at the Thriller event. Okay, all right, guys. I will talk to you later on. I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. But anyway, I did a video about it, okay? And I'll post the video when I find it, but I got to go. All right, I love you guys, okay? And go to michaeljacksoninsider.com. And if you have not watched the Alive docu-series, you are missing out. You are missing out, okay? It is so, so good. Oh, somebody gave me a suggestion that I should release the first Alive documentary for free as a promotion for Alive 2, 3, and 4. What do you guys think? I told her I would, but I don't think I should do it yet. I think I should wait like maybe January, February, somewhere in there. So there's still hype. It can be hyped up with the release of the Michael biopic.